Okay, sick. Let's see if this is working. Had to fight the headset a little bit, but chill stream today. I'm watching it here for anybody starting this out of nowhere. No idea what's going on. This is how I monitor and manage everything. Okay, cool. So we are streaming. Hello, hello, hello. Ah, hey, look, it's all my screenshots from my thumbnails. Yo, what's going on, dude? Good to see you here. Yes, very unexpected, I know. Turns out I'm bored enough to fly, but I'm not bored enough to sit for 4 hours and clear India on the Round the World series, so... Oh, I had snow turned on, if you can't tell for the thumbnail. Goodness, the whole country. Yeah, I wanted to fly. If I was wondering, this is what Hawaii looks like with snow. Let's see. Let's take conditions back to live. That's more fun. I actually saw another YouTuber here earlier. Las Vegas is busy. SAR Heli 241. I'd seen him here earlier when I was doing the thumbnail stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to do some flying and go to Puerto. Actually, I don't think we've flown in Puerto Rico. Yeah, we just had a few flakes here. Let's see, Puerto Rico. And I'll actually turn the time back to daylight. Let's see. It's a relatively small island, so we'll just start somewhere and go explore. We'll start down here in the corner. Let's see, Mr. Epic Aviation, since you're relatively new to the streams, here's a list of the helicopters I have. I'm giving you the opportunity to pick. You've got the 125, the 145, 225, 160, the 407, the Huey, which I know you're a fan of, the Chinook, the Cowan-Sim 206B3, 206L3, 222 Bravo, so that's a fun one for you from recent events. Another 125, 500E, 130, the R22, the S76, the S64, 135, more 206s, the Cavalry G2, the 500C/OH6, the Black Hawk MH60, the R66, the 315, which I do need to fly more so we can get used to it, and the better version of the Huey. So, yeah, let me know what you're thinking. I'm going to look around the island some while you're making up your mind. Looks kind of rainy over here, but I'm okay. It looks fun. We can always change the weather as we're in the sky, though. 145 or Huey? Well, I did the 145 for the thumbnail, so we'll do the Huey. And it's actually got a bit of a pain in the ass startup procedure, so I'm kind of interested in messing with that, just because it's something more to, you know, work with. I want the high skid version. And I want the NASA version because I think it's cool. I don't think any of the other ones. Yeah, I want the NASA high skid. Saving back, start flight. Oh yeah, and the big thing on the startup procedure for these is the throttle setup is very, very particular. It's easy to overtorque. Man, these high skids make this thing look huge. Crap. Is that where I started in? I'm going to refresh into here real quick, just that way I don't move my eyes with the stupid mouse. Because that can mess up how I'm sitting in the helicopter. So let's not touch my mouse. Let's only touch my laser pointer here. Okay, cool. So we can get rid of this little thing here. And the NASA livery is so sick. I don't think Taox Hangar has put any pre-flight procedures on the outside. Oh, they have a hook. Hell yeah. I wonder if it's possible to do any external load stuff. I know they have it set up with their 500C that you can do it. Okay, let's see. Let's get settled into the seat here. And look how high I'm sitting in this chair. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move backwards and down a little bit. Okay, we're going to try to run this by memory. I don't think it's that hard of anything to do. So, battery's going to be on. Horn's going to fuss at us. Going to shut it up. We're going to turn the fuel pump on. Hydraulics on. That's on. Everything there is on. Starter generator is set to start. Normal on the bat. Inverter can be off right now. Everything there is good. Anti-collision lights can be on. Okay, cool. So I think we're good. I'm going to press the starter button on my... I have a button here on my collective. It's not, sorry, my cyclic. What we're going to be looking for is our percent RPM. I'm turning my governor switch off too. So we don't get an overrun and overtemp. So we're going to be looking at percent RPM. And we're going to try to slowly bring this up while keeping our torque pressure low. That's kind of our main fight with this particular model. Okay, so just clicking the starter is working. 15 to 20%. I'm introducing a little bit of throttle, but not much. Keeping our temperatures low. I think NASA has a 135. I don't think they have a 145. The only reason I say that is because I saw it recently on the on flight radar. So we're above 60% on N1 and stuff, so we can start bringing that up. It's translating us sideways just a little bit. I don't know why. And if you can see in the camera here, I'm slowly twisting the RPM up. And what I'm doing, I am watching this needle here until we get it up into the green. And once I'm there, I'm going to flick my governor switch. I'm doing this all keeping the torque pressure very low, because if not, that's when we get a overheat, hot start, over torque, all the above problems. This helicopter does not like sitting on the ground. My collective's all the way down, and it's still, I'm sure you can see it's translating us sideways just a little bit. Don't know why. Literally on the ground here. Here, I'm going to throw a whole bunch of fuel in it real quick. Maybe I can weigh us down a little bit. Aircraft, flight performance, center of gravity, quick fill. Yeah, we're really light. We're going up to 8,800 pounds in here. Load aircraft. We're thick today, boys. Maybe that will hold us still. It's still kind of, I don't want to say wiggly or whatever, but... Oh, and I was talking through the engine startup, so sorry about that, but look at this. Very cool. Any other lights we can put on right now, that's all good. I want position on flash, bright, on. Landing lights, I don't care. I've got a switch down here. My collective, sorry, my cyclic center stick here. I've got a switch for lights. So slowly bringing up the collective. We're going to need left pedal for the anti-torque in this helicopter. Not that much. That was a very scoot forward takeoff. I don't like that. We're doing it again. Like I said, this one, it wants to fly more than I think it should. I think it feels very light on its feet for whatever this model is. Don't know why. We don't even have that... I mean, we do have like a 15 knot wind here, something coming from the right. But it's not... It's not crazy. Why is my master caution on? There's no reason for it to be on. Can you turn off? No. I don't see any lights down here in the annunciator. So, yeah, I don't care. Unless I can do... Nope. Sick. Okay, anyways, whatever. Off we go. Slowly picking up. A little bit backward cyclic now. There we go. Get it stable. What we do, since we're on the southwest corner of the island, we're going to go... I like the idea of going counterclockwise around it. So right now we're facing due south. Looking at the compass that I have here in the center of my gauge stack. I assume this is like a runway 9. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Oh yeah, we got a decent little headwind here. That windsock is moving. Look at all those damn cows. Chill, guys. Also try not to over torque this thing because we are pretty heavy. We're not super heavy, but we're pretty heavy. Already seeing some very cool mountains. There's a lot of people flying down here in Puerto Rico right now. Look at that. That might mean that there's a controller on with VATSIM or something for people to be popping up. Which I need to do more VATSIM stuff, honestly. I just don't remember how to do any of it, so I need to watch a video again to see how you log onto the VATSIM servers. And it's not even a thing that, like, I need to do it. It's just like, it would be nice to do it, you know. Usually I'm going to want to fly into weird places and uncontrolled airports. So it's like I kind of want to just deal with working with air traffic control in certain areas and stuff, but good beating sounds, good blade slap there. Check out the tower to make sure it looks good. It's a 5G tower, gross. Trying to fry my brains up here, tell you what. Kiwi's a pretty stable platform. In ground effect it feels weird, but it's much better up here at altitude. Okay, anyways, there's the southwest corner of the island. So I'm not pushing forward, because that would give me some mass bumping that was all lower collective. Yeah, and with VATSIM I would be trackable where you guys could see my location. But yeah, the cool thing is, which I need to make sure my volume's not too high on my television. No, we're good. But yeah, sometimes I can put in the sound to come from my VR headset, which I don't like to do for this because it has to cancel that sound to retrieve my microphone sounds. But the slap is really good. It's got pretty good bass as far as a VR headset goes. Which it's really hard to fly VR from outside the helicopter. Yeah, I figured that'd be nice. Roll in some torque here. There's V&E, don't really want to go faster than that. Lights are still good. It's nice because these are kind of like fun little mountains to fly around, not really have to worry about any crazy altitude stuff. But yeah, Huey's on my short list of something to fly. I think I'll be able to get into one relatively easily. But I can't really say for sure. Which I was telling you, I think I even posted, yeah, I did post it in the Discord. But I had the opportunity to fly an A-Star this coming weekend for a couple of hours from Huntsville back to Georgia. And I had to turn it down because of work, which sucks. If work had been super, super busy this year, it would have been a different story. But for the people who have watched consistently, they know that work's been slow for me. So definitely need to chase that little bit of income while it exists. Plenty of room back there. It's weird that it didn't give me any more people. Can I add people? Exterior options, what do we have here? Wire cutters? Sure. Mirrors? Nah. FLIR camera? Yeah. I put a Bambi bucket on here? Woo! Hell yeah. But not right now. We're doing a water tank surfboard. Winch. I want a winch. Bear paws. Ooh, I can do that makes it very loud for you guys where you can't really hear me. God, that's cool. Doors back on. Ooh. Disable vortex. No, I want that. Enable shaking. Show crew inside. Hell yeah. Got homies in here. Get rid of that. Swap map. Okay. Oh, crap. No, I do not like crew. I do not like having an arm. Get back, get back, get back. No. That's weird. That's weird. Why can't I show crew without showing me? There we go. That was weird. I don't like having a body. 3D vision. We're going synth. Plenty of toke left to play with. What else can I diddle down here without crashing us? Nothing really. kind of thinking, instead of following the coast, we start cutting more up to the northeast, so we can cut over the center of the island, see a whole bunch more of the trees, the mountains, and stuff like that. Looks like there's a helipad up here to the left. We'll check that out. It's probably like a hospital or something like that. Let's see. Need some liquid. We'll follow the road. We'll make it fun. Start throwing that power back in. Because, once again, we are a heavy helicopter today. Yeah, that's weird that the crew wants to show me as a pilot also. I don't like that. Unnecessary. I mean, maybe if you were not doing virtual reality, I could see that being nice. But being in VR, that's definitely a no-go. Okay, so due north of us is a helipad of some sort. We're going to go land there. Don't know what it is, but we're going to figure it out. Tower up to the 10 o'clock, watching out for that. Okay, so we'll be going over a small little pond before we get to this helipad. Should be going directly at it, maybe a mile at 1 o'clock. Off tomorrow until Tuesday. Oh, probably means you got a good chance to be in at Peachtree City if they get that special helicopter off the ground again. That executive VIP setup one. Okay, there's a helipad here somewhere, but where is the question? Just up the river from this thing. Where are I feel like it's supposed to be right here. I'm gonna put on my little marker thing, maybe it will show us. Maybe the tablet up. Next to that substation. Okay, I looked at... Okay, there it is. That's a hole to get into there. Who the hell puts a helipad there? Okay, so our best way is going to be kind of over this mountain and we're going to hit it. Substation? Yeah, it's for the substation. Strange. Honestly, I don't know if the Huey's going to fit down in there. Coming over the hill like this, we got to be very careful about vortex ring state. They probably do not land Hueys here, I'll tell you that. this is tight. Cannot go. I am locked into this particular down slot. There's no more right or left or forward to give. No forward. I mean, there are trees. Little 22, this would have been nice, but Hueys have a bit of a rotor path. So our best way out, pedal turn to the right, slide backing into this intersection, then max power up out of those trees there. Okay. So, 1. Oh yeah, and like you said, you got the info now, so that's good. Actually, what I want to do, since we're on the ground, I want to go back to aircraft performance. I want to take the weight out of here. Co-pilot 200. Pilot and co-pilot. Load in the aircraft. Fuel we got a lot of. Okay. But what I do want to do, I want to put the Bambi bucket on. Hopefully I have a Bambi bucket on the bottom. Cool, we do, so we have to be aware of that. Is there a Bambi bucket dump? Or am I just filling it up and not being able to drop water? How do I drop water? So we'll keep our speed down since we have a bucket. Let's see. Bambi bucket key binds. I don't want to read a fucking manual. Let's just see if there's something here. If somebody wants to look up the manual for me, so I don't have to. Let's see. Is there something in settings where I can do a bucket dump? Controls. Okay, sorry. Slightly less boring. Oh, and I figured out what the battery thing was on the 125 the other day that was messing us up. What it was is when you're sitting in a stall at an airport, it turns the battery and generator lights on for some reason. Bambi. Okay, let's see. Checklist on Bambi bucket, check tablet. So that's on. So I need to reduce fuel to 75% to not break the max takeoff weight. Empty Bambi bucket weighs 167. They have a capacity of 3,500 pounds. Release water. Hover over the water below 20 feet radar height to fill it. Release the water. When above the target area, press the button that you have mapped to taxi lights on to release water. Okay, cool. So what buttons do I have available for that? That's my starter. That's that button. That is... I think that's that. So I may remap. Let's see. What's this one? What do I have this one input as? Parking brakes. Okay, so I'm going to also do this to taxi lights. Okay, cool. So that should have it set up to be able to dump the Bambi bucket now. What I need to do, I need to reduce our fuel down to below 75%. I just want to do like 60%. Okay, cool. Sick. We had a lake over here we're going to go to. Let me get back to comments so I can make sure y'all are yapping appropriately. Looks right, I'm the captain. I'm going to get rid of all these lollipops in the distance. There we go. I also like the idea of getting the water out of this hole over here, because it's a hole. It's not like a not like an easy flat area to get into. It means I have to be much more mindful of my torque. So things I want to look out for, I have a radar altimeter. Had a radar altimeter somewhere. And GPS altitude here. Is there a radar altimeter readout? No. Sick. There was one on the old gauges. So here's our target water source. Clear of all the trees to my left and everything, so I've only got water in front of me. I see our way out. It's going to kind of be over the dam and to the left. And really, with this being a bucket, it's on a thing like this, it's not like I'm really worried. As long as I get to a hover that's just above the water. So I'm pretty sure it's in right now. I can bring myself down. Okay, so the bucket should be full now. Gonna make the line tight again. See if I can look at outside view real quick without dying. Okay, yep, so the bucket is in the water. Watching my torque pressure gauge, so if you see my big, ooh, heavy. Why is it fighting me like that? I'm not doing that. So I'm watching my torque pressure. If you see my nav screen there in the middle, it's the gauge. Circle gauge to the bottom left of that, that's my torque pressure. No, you shouldn't be porpoising me like that. Here, just get me out of the hole. I think that porpoising was a glitch or something. Oh, it even shows water in there, that's cool. So I'm good on torque pressure. Yeah, that porpoising was weird. I don't get it. So I'm going to say that this building over here is on fire just because I want to test this. We're going to do an inside shot. Oh, there's a tower there too. I can barely see. Can I see my bucket? Nope. Well, if I swing my bucket, I can see it. I'm swinging out to the right. Oh no, wait. Okay, cool. I hit the fast forward button for a second. Okay, so I think I'm out of water now. If I'm pressing the button, no water's coming out. So I'm going to fill it up again, and we're going to drop it from the outside view. That porpoising was weird. I don't get it. Same approach over this little valley. 80 knots so we can slow our little happy ass down. Gonna be a steep approach in to the tip of that peninsula. I want to make sure we clear the bucket of all the trees here. And down we go. Right pedal because we're in negative torque. As Type 0 heli on the internet would call me, I'm a belly boy. Medium duty belly boy. So the bucket has got to be in the water by now. I don't need to look out to make sure. I'm going to wait a few seconds. I didn't read if it would take any time. Oops, there's a porpoise on it. We're definitely in the water there. Okay, watching the torque pressure. It's trying to porpoise me a little bit. So I feel like when you just like pull past that, that seems really easy. Yeah, we're not showing any water in there. But you just said the toggle. Did it say toggle or did it say lights on? Crap, I might need to look again. Okay, it's in the water. Sick. Okay, there's the porpoise. Pulling past the porpoise. Okay, cool. So that has water in there. We can see the water in there. I just feel like I'm not using a lot of torque, you know. Okay, let's see what this looks like on the outside. Two view. Oh! You're supposed to dump the water. No. Darn it. Oh well. Back to the island tour for Eli. Let's see. Go back to 1. I'm gonna get rid of this bucket so I'm not worried about it. Bambi bucket gone. We'll play with you later. Alright, now I want to go back to over the mountains. Put some speed in this bad boy. Pull some pitch. Let's go. Slap those blades. Hard bang. Yeah, that's weird that it wouldn't let me drop, because it obviously filled up the first time. When we looked at it after the first drop, the bucket was empty, so it did something. I don't know. Then again, this is also a third-party thing, so I kind of expect it to work better than Flight Sim 2024 because the main game still has so many things that are wrong with it. I haven't tried doing the hype medical missions in 2024, I don't think. That might be worth doing. Okay, we'll stay low in this canyon over here to the right. I say canyon, but it's really a valley. Like, part of me kind of wishes this was an airplane to do faster stuff, but it's one of those things where it's like, I enjoy speed. I enjoy needing to do stuff with like quick reactions. Like I could speed us up like double speed or whatever this is here, or 200% speed up, which whatever, it makes this feel slow. But that's more for people who are doing like long haul autopilot sort of things, and they're just trying to like do autopilot things where they don't have to do the 10 hours of sitting and letting the plane fly itself. Like, I understand that that's sim rate function being there. And we don't push forward because this is a Huey. We let down on the collective. If we are pushing forward, we need to be under load. Nice little valley thing here we're going to follow up. Pulling like 80% available torque, so I'm happy with that. What I want to do at some point, I do want to do an auto rotation in this. Hueys have a very nice auto, a lot of rotor inertia. So it's always nice doing an auto with one of these big things. Which I don't want to say I got used to it, but I got used to doing the auto with these things when I was figuring out the startup procedure with it. And the main thing would be because I have a governor switch here at the end of my collective, like a Robinson, because this is a Robinson control setup. And if you have that governor switch on, of course this will let the governor take over, and it will over torque itself up to engine speed. You'll shred something in the gearbox and the engine, you'll get chip detector lights on, and eventually the transmission or the engine will freeze up and you'll have to auto down. So I got used to doing autos while I was figuring out why my startups were weird. Because the governor switch that's in the helicopter, in the model itself, is not directly connected to my governor switch on the collective. So that was a learning curve. I want to kind of generally aim just more northish, less across. So that way we can find flat ground in an area. Looks like there's a helipad up here somewhere. In an airport. Okay, cool. What we're going to do, we're going to do the airport. So I'm going to throw us a little bit of altitude here. And we're going to do an auto into this airport 3 miles away currently. I also want to slow way down. I think it's on the other side of this. Yeah. Can't tell what sort of airport it would be. Grass strip. Okay, cool. I know what I'm looking for. Or I can try to put it down in that field over there. Which we are in an auto rotation right now. We're going to try to put it down in this football field. May have overrun it a little bit, but I think I can take the speed out of it with a little bit of flare. Nice on the ground 180. A 180 to a flare flippy doodah. Cool. Smooth. On the ground. Get this running back up to speed. Cool, so everything's back to normal. I'm going to eat Bobo's apple pie and oats. I need some sugar. Oh. Yeah, off we go. Smooth auto there. Actually, I think there's a helipad over here somewhere. Showing it on the map. Oh, right next to the field. Okay. Okay, back towards the north of the island. Let's follow this river. And stuff like that is a huge reason why I enjoy flying with VR. Sure, you can do that normally, but it's so much nicer having the VR set up to where I can look around and see what I'm doing. For airplanes, I don't know, maybe not that big of a deal, especially because you're following like very specific flight patterns with things that you do. But with how dynamic helicoptering is. No, this is not around the world. This is just Matt wanted to fly helicopters. I'll see how I feel tomorrow, but I may do another around the world tomorrow. And if I do, I may start pretty early. Well, I can't start too early because there's no sun. Because we're doing all that live time. It might be another like early morning start for being out there at Mount Everest. But expect like a 6 o'clock stream or something if I'm going to do it tomorrow. And I'll post in the Discord if I do. I don't have to work until Wednesday, I believe. But then I'm working Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's a very busy week. And then I got to do 19th, 20th, 21st, 23rd through the 28th or something, 29th. Anyway, it's going to be a busy couple of weeks for me, thankfully. So I'd like to do another Around the World tomorrow night. I feel like I owe that to myself and to everybody. Or at least to make it past India before I go back in for this 2.5 weeks worth of straight work. I mean, I'm sure stuff will be flying tomorrow, but I also haven't looked at the weather for tomorrow, so I don't know. But it sucks, man. I freaking had to turn down that flight, which would have required me getting myself to Huntsville. Whether it be hopping on a flight, finding a friend. I was going to ask a couple of friends who do fixed wing stuff and be like, hey, if you were looking to fly across country here soon, if you're willing to fly on Friday, I'll split cost with you and go one way towards Huntsville. If not, I'd have to drive out and either get a ride out there to get my car back or fly out there commercial. Which either way would have been fine, you know, 2 hours in an A-Star. A-Star costs $4,000 an hour to rent. Or $6,000 an hour or something like that. So I mean, it's a good deal to just spend a few $100s on a plane ticket to get out there to get hour and a half, 2 hours of seat time. Ooh, the wind definitely changed over the hill there. Definitely looks messy over here. So it did look like you did go all the way down to Macon to get those 60s. Oops, somebody's flying the 135 all the way down there. I guess we're heading after that person. Let's see what the arrow citation 182. But whoever's all the way down there, they're flying the Eurocopter EC-135 T1. So we'll kind of set our sights on him to see if we can go bother whoever that is. Laquiana 3324. Also, cool thing, Mr. Epic Aviation. There's a chance that whoever that is down there watches your videos, because if anybody's flying a helicopter in the flight sim and taking it any sort of seriously, then there's a good chance that they watch your videos because they're watching helicopter videos. So, there's a fun fact. see. Let's speed up a little bit because I want to get down here to see this guy, but I also want to fly other places today too. So we're at 2 times time rate right now. I think 3 times might be too much. You have to be so stable with the controls doing this sim rate stuff. I also kind of want to get up here because it looks like there's storms. I just saw lightning up ahead. Hell yeah. That's cool. This guy? Is he even on the island or is he on another island? 3, 2 speed. Nice. Normal speed. Let's see. He might be on the end of the island down there. 1, 2, 3. There's like bigger mountains down here to the east side of the island. Chasing this bad weather, we were flying IFR once we get up here, I can almost tell you that for sure. Yep. 2x, 1x, 1. Okay, so we are real speed right now. Whew. Big storm. I have synthetic vision here, so we're going to work our way down towards the coast. Or up towards the coast, should I say. Just so I'm not worried too much about hills and things. Unless I can see a pocket of stuff. No. It looks clear as we get to it. No, whatever. I'm not scared. Let's go for it. What I do want to do, I want to put this over here. Zoom out. Put that on me. Put that on that. Weather. Radar on. Fuck it. We go live. We are live. Oh no, the 135 guy, I don't see him anymore. I don't care, we're gonna make it to the other corner of this island. It's not that far away. We already kind of made it past San Juan, so. We're either going to make it to this little peninsula here on the northeast corner, right there, or we're going to die going through the rain. But I can see through us up here. Here looks hard though, so we're going to keep flying straight, because that's the direction that we want to go. Oh, well, that just closed in, so that's fine. Starting to get rain on the windshield. Pretty sure I have wipers somewhere. The rain didn't know I had this on my side. Idiots. Also, I'm staying low to keep visual with the ground. Okay, that's annoying. Oh no. Oh no. Park. This isn't too bad. I mean, it's heavy rain, but it ain't. This isn't some of the stuff we had going through Japan. Getting into Japan was rough. Goodness. Also, I don't know if I was on the stream when we were looking around, but they finally added the Tokyo heliport. It used to not be it was a thing in 2020, in the Sim 2020, but it wasn't a thing in 2024 for some reason. Yeah, these blades are getting... Hey, they're going to be clean, okay? The main reason why people don't fly through the rain is because, you know, like you stick your hand out the window when it's raining and you hit the rain at 70 miles an hour. It's like, ooh, that kind of stings. It's like, cool, imagine it at 500 miles an hour. That's what the blades are experiencing. So you can do it, but it just erodes the leading edge and protective paint and stuff quicker, so you have to do blade maintenance more often. You can fly through the rain, it's just usually not advised. Big thing is because of visibility, and with storms like this, maybe not like this, but with like a standard thunderstorm or whatever, you can get some pretty serious downdrafts happening, where it's like a 5,000 foot per minute downdraft. Or more. I think 7,000 foot per minute is like the normal, whatever. Yeah, they used to not have the Tokyo heliport, which was wild. I complained about that many times. I'm going to turn the weather off on this one. Because I actually like seeing the ground. I wish there was like an opacity setting. Yeah, Tokyo heliport, they finally put it in here. I don't know if there was an update or if they realized that they were just stupid when they were building the game. But yeah, you typically don't want to fly through rain in storms because it's, like I said, a huge downdraft. Like, sorry, it'll throw an... Oh, they are over here. They're just hiding behind a mountain. Okay, we're still heading for... Aquina? I'm gonna butcher that name. I apologize. But like, yeah, the downdrafts will straight pretty much kill you. I was reading a story of this guy who was flying an air tractor, AT-602, I believe. So one of the turbine engine air tractors, pretty stout machines, you know, made to carry decent amounts of weight worth of fertilizer and stuff like that, and turbine engine. And he was sparing this thing, so he wasn't even at full weight. And I want to say he was at like 3,000, 3,500 feet, starting to make an instrument approach down into... No, it wasn't an instrument approach, it was just a standard approach because he could still see. Dude, I would love to fly the Tokyo heliport in real life. Or at least ride out of it. I don't know what the flying overseas rules are, but anyways. So this dude was in an air tractor, and this downdraft hit him, and he was at 3,500 feet. And he said he got down to within like 200 feet of the ground within a minute. And he was fighting it. He over-torqued the engine because it was like, cool, I'm either going to hit the ground and die, and then the engine's toast anyways, or I can try to over-torque the engine and then get it to the airport, which he was going in to land at anyways. So he over-torqued the engine, working his way, and he was still losing altitude, but he was just able to make it to like the edge of the downdraft before he hit the ground, which if he didn't over-torque the engine, it would have put him in the ground. But over-torquing allowed him to just get that little bit extra, keep that little bit of extra elevation. Slowest descent from 7,000 feet per minute to 6,000 feet per minute, or whatever it would have been. So yeah, the downdrafts from storms and stuff is scary. Okay, let's come in a hover and visit whoever this is over here. But they are in the 145, so there's a chance that they're doing missions. Which I think you can still do missions in live. I think that's a thing. So this could very well be something like that. Or they could have crashed. There are a lot of people, if they're flying the 145, they spent $40 on this model. So there's a low chance of them crashing, I would hope, if they spent $45 on this helicopter model. Let's come down here into this little pocket. But right now, since they're invisible, that means they are in their menus. I don't know which way they're facing. They could be facing the other way. But they would be able to hear me. So, oh, there they are. So yeah, I think they're doing medical missions. Curious if we're going to see their rotor system cone when they go to take off. So what I'm watching right now, their rotor system's mildly drooped. I'm curious if it's going to go to a cone shape whenever they start applying pitch. So we're just going to hang out here for a second and watch. We're pretty much done with Puerto Rico here for this bit, so. Get a little bit above the ground to get the particles to go away so we're not slowing the systems down. I mean, I'd like to think if I had unlimited money, I would do a 145. I just think they're super good helicopters. But also I feel like I'd want a helicopter with wheels also, because I just feel fancier. Like a Bell 525 would be awesome. Of course, a lot like the Augustas, Leonardo, like their 169 or 139 would be pretty cool to have. But I feel like I would want to do Bell more, just because it's a, I don't want to say local company, but it's an American brand here where it'd be easier to get parts and service and everything for it. Whoa. We were settling a little bit with power there. But we're getting some weird wind right there, and that's what it is. Weird. I was definitely not in a crashing area. Cool. Anyways, we were getting some weird wind in there. I'm assuming that right there's a light pole and there's a little something right there that we caught. Anyways, let's see. Up there's SAR, I think. I'm the only pilot, Matt. Hold up a second. Wait a damn minute. 429 would be cool. Which we have the 222 here. If you're looking at like 429-ish class, like twin engine fancy, because they have 429 skid and they have 429 with retractable gear. The only retractable gear bell that we have here is the 222. We have the S76, but we don't have anything that's like a... I call these like a skid body helicopter. Like the 429 or the 222, like they make a skid model, the uniform. But the Bravo model with the wheels, it like this helicopter looks like it's made to have wheeled landing gear. The 429 looks like it's made. Yeah, we crashed. I don't know why. We call them pterodactyls here in the stream. Australia was bad about it. A lot of times when they render the areas, if there's a light pole or something, it won't put the light pole in, but if the light on top of it's big enough, it'll make something that you can run into that just floats in the air that you can't see. Even if you're not hitting anything that you can see, there's like an invisible thing that you can run into. So yeah, something got us. Like this here, a H160 with skids would look silly. With wheels, it looks good. The 429 I think looks better with skids, but it doesn't look good with skids. And it doesn't look good with wheels. It's kind of a weird in between where they tried to make it work both ways, you know? Actually, what I want to do... I'm going to come down here. I have yet to do... Let's do it in the 160, just because. Civil... No, 145. We're going to do the 145. Just because I know it works. Yeah, we're going to stick with the ADAC livery set, but I want to go... I love this color. I wish they had the IPBOE. That's my favorite overseas 145. We do have 500. Yeah, let's fly 5. Okay, we have a 500E. I'm going to try something with the 145 real quick. So we have the 500E. We have a 500C. So just think about that. But what I want to do, I want to try... I want to do a full start. I've yet to try to see if the medical flights work. The 145, when you buy the 145 model from Hype Performance Group, they also have a like a medical mission type thing that you can do. And I've tried it in 2020. I don't remember if we've tried it here in 2024 yet. Also, this is freaking flights in 2024 and it's 2026. Ugh. Look at this beauty. Golly. Got a little winch and everything. Cool. Shift C. Let's get in here and sit down. We're sitting in a good place. I'm happy with that. So what we need to do is start the top battery on. Not gonna do any of those things. Not gonna do any of those things. Not gonna do... I'm gonna prime my fuel. And put my strobe and anti-collision on. And... I'm happy with all that right now. Actually, I think that's tied to the avionics circuit there. Cool. So that should be good for a start on engine 1. And 1's going up, showing a start emblem there. Should say idle once it's caught. In 159.60. Cool, looks like we have a good start there. Engine 2. Get it spinning. Avionics on. Lavix. Where's my mouse? Here it is. Lavix to pilot. Those on. IBF, don't need that. Transfer pumps on. Power to high intensity, I'm cool with that. Standby battery, backup SAS. Cool, standby battery can go on. Backup SAS. Cool, engines are at idle, autopilot's off. Autopilot can go on now. I'm not going to use it, but I can get rid of those lights. Messaging, everything looks good. What we need to do, we need to open up our map here. Let's see, help, da-da-da. Do I do it from here? Yeah. Mission library. Rescue mission. Service range from base. We're going to keep it smaller. Say 40 kilometers away. Begin taking rescue calls. Dispatching to a sporting incident. Somebody has been seriously injured while playing sports. Objective: fly to the site and rescue the person, then deliver them to a nearby hospital. Open on map. So where we're going is oh, we're going to there. Okay, cool. North of Sonoya, south of Peachtree City. That's where we're going to go. Let's put this back on us by clicking follow aircraft. Bring these up to flight power. Get the map on there. Wait for everything to move up to where it needs to be. Epic Aviation, dude, see ya. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully, it ends up being a good weekend for spotting. HWTAS mute on. Horn. Okay, Speedway traffic helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey at the ramp. We will be picking up and departing to the west. Speedway. We're running right pedal picking up. Ooh, that was sloppy. It feels weird. It feels light. Also, we're playing with current weather, so there's probably like a wild, wacky wind happening right now. Fuel. Add some fuel. Tablet. What's our weight look like? Load an aircraft. Cool. We've got some weight now. I think if I remember right, our wind's kind of coming from... Oh yeah, we got a wild wind right now. That explains a lot. Okay, nobody to the right, nobody to the left. Off we go. Yeah, dude, this wind is kicking. Holy crap. I can feel it. Also because the Hype runs a lot more CPU. Trying to run its program. It's a different animal. 9 people in here. Hello, good evening, everybody. Hope you're not snowed in too bad. Also, I think, does this one have auto trim? Yeah. I don't want auto trim. Oh, that's so much better. Still not the best, but... if I had like force feedback pedals and collective and cyclic, yeah, I could understand, you know, using auto trim and autopilot functions, but it's just... none of my stuff self-centers, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'd rather just fly it raw, you know. And for anybody watching at the top left of the screen, that's me. Hello, I'm waving at you. This is an Apache Simulators R44 setup. I'm flying it using a MetaQuest 3 VR headset. Computer is a 7500X3D with a 4070 Ti Super. And it's a pretty decent little thing. If y'all have thumbs or fingers, I do suggest commenting and messaging down there in the chat. It gives me things to talk about, and also I can answer questions. I am a licensed helicopter pilot in real life, fun fact. Not commercial, but still, I do fly for real. Oop, wind change. It's definitely going to be an interesting thing with the wind, because we have 30 knots coming off of our nose right now. Holy crap. That is significant. 25 knots, somewhere in there. There's a lot of damn wind right now. Currently refurbishing a 7500 I bought for cheap. Oh, nice. Still 1/500th scale like the other stuff. Also, do we land here? Well, we need to judge it. If we say land and it's unlandable, then I'll need to winch. But I will have the ability to select if we want to winch somebody or not. Okay, we're over Sonoya-ish area right now. Except what I do need, I need a timer. That feels fast. This feels more normal, but it's hard to tell because I think I accidentally hit my button. So what I need to look for is a watch or timer tool. Don't do this shit to me. Tools. No, I don't want that. Timers. 6. Okay, now let's see if this speeds up when I do this. no, it doesn't. That's stupid. Crap. Sucks. I feel like I'm flying slow. That feels fast. That's definitely fast. Okay, so this is our speed. No built-in timer in the helicopter itself. Usually there is one somewhere. Clock. Okay, so we were slow. Because that seems right. 10, 11, 12, 13. If I slow down one click, 14, 15, 1,000, 16, 1,000, 17, 1,000, 18, 1,000. God, it just feels off, you know? Stopwatch. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000. Yeah, so that's it. I don't know why this just feels fast. I don't know if it's just me. It just feels fast. Ugh. I want to restart just because I don't know. Now it's getting all laggy and stuff. I don't know, boys. It's feeling weird. How am I supposed to make landing gear? 3D print? I don't know. I'd have to see like what you have available, really. Okay, so we're going to be talking to Peachtree Airport. Falcon Field, helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey. Medical helicopter will be operating about 3 miles to your southeast over the schools, operating at or below 1,500 feet. Will possibly be winching and hovering 100 foot off the ground. Falcon Field. So what we're looking for up here is emergency vehicles. It's further up here. Okay, I thought it was going to be at the school. Okay, so there's something out here by this tower. That's fun. Doing this on a windy day by a tower. Oh. I want to hoist it just because it seems more challenging. Switch to hoisting. Why am I being so laggy? So annoying. You better not be hoisting yet, you idiot. I know my door's open, but we're nowhere near where we need to be. I was expecting somewhere different. Still don't see our... Oh, they're back here in the corner? We're gonna go right off the freaking approach and departure path. So I'm gonna turn into the wind. Crew operations are in progress. What's going on, Sean? Okay, so once we get the crew up here, they are hoisting currently. Well, I'd love to put some altitude to get away from the trees, which are slowing everything down. I say slowing things down means slowing up my PC. Cabin secure. I want to go to Piedmont. Definitely gotten hazy. Yeah, there's some intense focus going on. One, because this Hype 145, when you're doing their medical missions, it draws a lot of PC power, and I start getting a little bit of jitters, you know? We got killer wind coming at us right now. like 15, 17 knots coming off the nose. Here, there's a big gust. Only reason we gained altitude right there. I didn't do anything differently. Goodness. But yeah, I just want to try one of these missions in 2024 just to see if it worked. But it looks like it's kind of laggy, and that could just be my PC. You know, it could be it could work fine, or maybe I just have too many settings turned up for trees and stuff like that. Which I wonder if I can turn that down just a little bit. VR. It's a bit smoother there. But it's like the computer runs good doing other stuff hovering that low, but when you're running all of this Hype 145 systems and simulation and stuff, it really becomes demanding. Yeah, those wind gusts are wild. Radio Nut, where are you flying? 600 Aerostar, okay. Scooting, bud. Bellini. My landing lights on because it's starting to get messy out here. Do I have other lights on? Yep. Co-pilot, do that for me. So I'm just sitting there. Let me fight all this wind and everything. 40 knots coming off the nose, boys. Holy crap. Now back down to 20. 30. 20. It's windy. It is windy here. Because I'm flying in like current weather scenario for this area, so it was definitely not a very flying friendly day here in Georgia as far as wind's concerned. This morning, sure, but afternoon now. And we can tell the hospital's up here, our landing area, because they put out a smoke signal for us. Like, I don't have a fucking GPS right here. Yeah, look at the wind thing down there. But the 40 knot wind arrow on the Garmin there. Which makes this a very dangerous landing. I don't know how well buildings and air around the buildings are modeled, but you're basically, I can be sitting dead still while being in ETL. You gonna do some climate control stuff for me, bud, or just sit there? My window. I need you to turn the AC on and vent and stuff, or do I need to do that when we land? So yeah, I could be in ETL and hovering and feeling like I'm doing good in the hover and then just lose lift once we go behind the building or a gust stops. Keeping my nose in the wind as we're going down. With the wind, it's the way you want to be doing it, but it's also very unpredictable with how gusty it's been. stabilized in right here. Seemingly. Let me get other little gusts that pop us around. Cool. Now I set engines to idle so our dudes can hop out. And while they're doing that, I'll be looking into doing anything with our climate control in the cabin here. See, yeah, look at the windshields there. Horrible. Wiper's not doing anything. A lot of times there's ventilation and stuff on the ground. Cabin secure, shut up. I don't want to get to a building fire. I'm done. Going back to the airport. Okay, I want to be on defog. I want to be on fresh air. Got air conditioning running to defog. Cool. I'm also just kind of curious if it will actually defog for us. Because in the car, you know, we do recycled air. Well, I aborted the mission. Don't give me that. We're just going back to park because my partner here is incapable of running the defog for us. The air conditioning doesn't seem to be the move. I'm gonna leave heat on because I feel like this could be mild windshield icing. We're just gonna make our way back over to Speedway, set her down, do something else. Hey, the windshield cleared up. Look at that. A genius. Worked, it just took a minute. And ground speed cooking right now. Definitely could be better weather. That's for sure. But we're out here saving lives, so, you know, I can't be doing no complaining and stuff on that. Speedway traffic helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey, 3 miles to the northwest. We'll be overflying at midfield at 1,500 feet, turning around and doing an approach directly to the ramp to remain in the wind. Speedway. Here's a lake. Sick. Guys, this isn't good weather. Whose idea was it to fly this? Here, in current weather. What an idiot. So a little bit of left. So I'd be more at midfield like I said I would be. Field's not in sight. Field's not in sight. Pretty sure that's it, but I cannot confirm. But it's where it should be. Field in sight. Cool. I can make that out. We're gonna make a loop around the speedway and come in and land over this backside. Speedway traffic helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey is crossing midfield at 1,500. We'll be doing a clockwise loop around the speedway and then landing direct to the helipads. Speedway. Hey, it's lightening up some. That's nice. The wind's definitely still moving us around, but, you know, whatever. We're having a good time. I'll be able to feel the wind pushing me here in just a second. There it is. Speedway traffic helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey is over the speedway, and we'll be doing an approach directly to the helipads. Speedway. And as you can see, we're looking at our screen right here. You can see we are nose into the wind, which is what I want. Let's see where I'm going. We park near the back of the paths to keep our blades out of the road. The wind's pushing a little bit. There we go. So as you can see, the front of our blades is clear of the road, back to the dirt. That's where we want it. We have an engine fire. Oh no, that's just the... I was about to say that's the silliest looking engine fire. That's just the heat stuff. I didn't have any sort of warnings on my screens here. Turn those down. Okay, cool. So we'll shut this down real quick. We'll do a little bit of a shutdown procedure. I'm not going to go too in depth with it. I say that as I start clicking everything. Okay, we're next, boys. She's slowing down. Cool, that's off, that's off, that's off, that's off, that's off. Standby battery can go off. Generators, everything are good, so really we're just waiting for this to slow down, which I can do, help with a rotor brake. Ooh. Apparently the rotor brake doesn't do a damn thing. Good shift, guys. We saved one kid. I'm trying to use the winching fellas. Probably you with a harness on, I would assume. Whatever. A skipper. I don't want to resume. End flight, that's what I'm looking for. Let's see, what sort of things do I want to see? I haven't been over here. I want to cross a strait, you know? Sure, it's a pretty stout wind. That may be the thinnest point here. Somewhere there? Cool. Let's figure it out. Let's have fun. Never flown this area. Be worth the thing to do, you know? I don't plan on hitting this on our Around the World stream, so it's worth checking out now. Sure, Europe's not going to appreciate us crossing with minions on. Also, why does Pineville County Sheriff's Arizona have little 134s on their burn? Weird. Shift C, let's hop in. I need to be taller and further back. A little bit shorter. Okay, cool. That works. That's there. Position lights, anti-collision lights on. Battery on. Generator off for now. Fuel pump on. Starter button. Gotta hold the starter button on this one. Okay. Wait for it to get it over 60. Turn generator on. Solid light. Okay, cool, yeah, go up to full power, not like I asked. Oh, it goes on easily. No. I won't be able to hear myself think. Sorry if anybody's getting on to this. What is this? A 500 a C. We are in the northern part of Africa, looking for the southern part of Portugal. Goodness, a lot of left pedal needed. Like an alarming amount of left pedal needed. You know now? Because I told you. Actually, I want clear weather. Because we're exploring. We're having a good time. Clear skies. this is Africa. Fun. Let's leave immediately. "60 knots, we can do better than that." Through the wind here though today, we had some kicking wind today. You know, my mom has a like Amazon level greenhouse that my dad put up for her outside, and little roof panels were starting to peel up and blow open the door in the front, so she had to go out there when it was like 20 with like a 7-degree wind chill. And at least tape the roof down enough to where it will hold, because we have to like pull some stuff apart to get them to slip back into their ways. That's crazy that Europe's right there. Yeah, the wind was wild today. Usually it was stuff like that. I'm like, oh cool, I want to go hover in it just to, you know, get the hover practice. But yeah, I would not have wanted to R22 anything like that. I think that was above limits too. I forget the wind limits on the 22, but that was definitely above whatever they are. Pretty populated little town here though on the north side of this continent. Definitely gonna fly lower through the streets of here just because we can. Yeah, didn't really want to do much on the stream today. I just wanted to fly and try to make myself be a bit more consistent, so it's kind of selfishly. 747 inbound to Atlanta, had to divert to Huntsville because of wind. Wow, really? On a plane that big? That sounds miserable. I was outside last week replacing the deck. Hate to have to do something like that this weekend. Yeah. I mean, last weekend was supposed to be the big winter storm, but it's more miserable for me this weekend. We didn't get the snow again. Kind of annoying. But then again, like, I don't say I can't complain about not getting snow. Nashville got wrecked last weekend. So it's kind of like, yeah, we didn't get it, but there were people who got it pretty bad and got in a pretty bad way because of what happened with the weather. So I don't want to complain, like, man, we didn't get any snow. Meanwhile, there's probably some elderly people who died because they lost heat in their homes up in the Middle Tennessee area. So, like, can I complain? Sure. Is it kind of an asshole thing to do given the situation? Sure. But I was promised a winter storm and I won't snow. There's satellite dishes on the side of these buildings. Funny. Adding a little bit collective to help with the turn. Still well in the torque. We were only at 60% there. Get out, get out, get out. Or not, fine, y'all can just sit in here. That's on y'all. Try to do something cool. Let y'all raid somebody's house for the LOLs, but nope, y'all didn't hop out of the helicopter. Yeah, well, 2 weeks ago, that was the weekend that I went to go do the thing in Alabama. And driving back, I was talking to Brady on the phone. Talking to Brady and his wife. They were both on speakerphone or whatever, talking about whatever we were talking about. And, yep, solid snow. Well, Georgia Spotting, they live down near your area, so they're in the same general vicinity. Ugh. Yeah, we had inch and a half, but it wasn't enough to stick to the pavement, or the pavement maybe just wasn't cold enough. Anyways, we had like grass and car sticking, but no pavement stick. So whatever that means to the meteorologist inside of you. So there is a helipad or something over here. What are you? Oh, like a very marked helipad on a compound. Nice, that's where we're going. Lost so much money the past 2 days with silver prices bashing back down again. Then again, I mean, I made money the past week and a half, or really the past month of everything going up. But yesterday was a big wipe of a lot of value of stuff going away with the new Fed pick. But whatever, you know, I'm still up from where I was when I started, so. But it was to the point where I was like, ooh, man, I could take some of this silver and gold and stuff and shovel it away, take advantage of the prices being up, and buy another handful of hours, or a lot more hours in the 22 versus the 44. But we'll see. I kind of think it's smart to just hold on to it right now with how things are and not knowing what the summer is going to be like. But then again, like maybe there will be some more stuff coming up. This stunt armor helicopter related thing that I'm working on into this month will hopefully lead into some more things. And the pilot was asking me to hang out with him on a ferry and ride with him. I think that's a huge win to where I'm already. I don't want to say that. Snow didn't even stay for 12 hours. Yeah, it's not like I'm getting recognition like, oh man, he's a good, like, he's never seen me fly. He's obviously not asked me to fly with him because he thinks I'm a good pilot. As far as like, shit, he's probably pretty good because he's pretty consistent with his simming stuff and he always wants to learn, so probably good because of, or good enough for the hours that I am because of that. But then the important thing would be, it's not hard to fly any other helicopter once you learn how to fly one helicopter. It just gets easier, especially if you're starting off in the 22. So getting in something like an A-Star or a 44, or whether, other than just like learning like, okay, cool, like I'm right pedal heavy instead of left pedal heavy. You know, so like if I have to do an auto for some reason or picking up, I just gotta make sure that I'm more one way instead of the other way. That was weird the way it grabbed. All the way down, wiggle ourselves with the ground song. Now I put my cyclic all the way left. Pedal in a little bit. Pick up. Cool. Anyways, let's go to Europe. We'll just cross here. I could go further that way, but I can see it, so why not just go? Give ourselves a little water crossing on our off day. It's only a few miles. Yeah, if only you were in Huntsville today, you would have got a rare 747 landing there. It's quite a string of adjectives to define a job. No, but it's one of those things where it's I don't want to keep putting into the universe that I want to leave film, because it might kick me out before I've reset myself to get out of film. But I do know that my path is being out of film one day, you know? So there's that. I know that I'm not going to be in this industry forever. And I'm okay saying that because I think that it's important to put your goals out in public, so that way other people can see you and not just only congratulate you, but encourage you if you're feeling slow or ask you about it to keep your motivation and everything up. Because there were a lot of people that asked me about flying helicopters before I got my license. Hey, are you flying yet? I know you're really wanting to do that. And I finally did, and they're all super happy for me. And not that I'm doing it for the congratulations, it's just nice to have people that are on my side wanting to see me succeed. Just like I want to see Sean succeeding with his stuff. Like, I want to see everybody that I know do good, because that means I'm putting myself around people who are chasing doing good. There's a lot of people who you can hang out with that don't do anything. I don't want to say deadbeats or whatever. There's a lot of people who just don't push themselves to be better. And there are times when I don't do it myself. And I feel it, and I know it, and I know it's something that I need to be doing better. But it's hard sometimes to really, really push yourself. I've got this huge to-do list of video ideas that I'm making. And it's one of those things where it's like, I almost have everything ready. I've got a lot of the B-roll and whatever, but it's like reading the script and the words and doing the editing and stuff that's going to take the extra time. And it's like, cool, the video's pretty much there. I just have to record some voice. Or, because I want to record voice with my nice studio mic, but also record video while doing it, because you're doing a live narration of something. But it's like just that one step of setting up to do that is something that can slow you down, just because you're, hey, Wonder Mimosa. Yeah, that one thing is just like, man, I don't want to do that one thing. And like, I've had like 2 videos on my to-do list that are more or less ready to film, that are just waiting for me to do that. Of course, there's a few more things that I want to film, and part of me wants to do all of my non-narration recording as soon as I can, in case something comes up and I want to add that to the narration and everything, whatever. They get daily 747s? I mean, I guess. I would never have guessed that, though. It is an international airport. I just kind of figured Birmingham would have been the place. Either way. Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of, man, why do I wait to do this? Why am I twin Pollux? It's a natural gas shipper. Like, yeah, why am I waiting for this? What's the thing holding me back? What's the thing holding you back? Why are you waiting to do whatever this thing that you're doing is? Is it money? What can you do that doesn't require the money? What more prep can you do? Because you could say some people are lucky to be able to get whatever sort of opportunity or whatever, but I mean, luck is opportunity and preparation. What other preparations can you do? And I feel like I'm almost preparationing myself out on a lot of this stuff, just because of the nature of, you know, what it is. I'm preparing the script, I'm preparing the videos, I have an idea of where I want the storyline to go with what I want to produce, because I think that that's an important part of a lot of YouTube. There's some people that have cool stuff and they do cool stuff, but they don't know how to record it and make a story out of it. And I don't want to call people out for different things, because I'm not them. I don't have their vision. I don't see their vision. I just saying it how I see it. But there's somebody who I'm pretty sure I've worked with in the past doing film stuff. But at a minimum, I've worked with people who've worked with him, and I'm very, very good friends, where I'd ask him to be like part of my wedding party with one of his good friends, and he happened to be the stunt person on the Mr. Beast video a few months ago, where it was like stunt man competes for $250,000 or something like that. Anyways, he started his own YouTube channel because he's a stunt guy, and he does a lot of stuff for fun, makes decent money doing stunt things. So he has money to build cool little cars and activities and go skydiving, so he does a lot of cool things that people kind of want to see cool guys doing. But from my view, and I'm not going to claim to be like a master YouTube, know how to do anything sort of person, but what I am, I'm a master YouTube consumer. I basically only consume YouTube. Can't bring it there. I basically only consume YouTube. I think I've been able to spot a lot of channels before they get big, because I understand what channels do and what personalities and drives and stuff need to be. And I want to say he hired an editor who was like an intern for Mr. Beast or something like that. So the videos have like a very childish sort of beat and pace and cutaways to different things or whatever on it. And it's like, cool, if that's what he wants to put out there, that's what he wants to put. My screen went blank for a second. That was scary, being that low. If that's what he wants to put out there, that's what he wants to put out there. I can't argue that. But his first video, he kind of went into, or his first few videos that I've seen, it kind of went into like, hey, cool, yeah, I'm the stunt guy Eric, and like you can tell that he's changing the way he's being himself, because he's like, cool, I gotta make sure not to cuss, I gotta make sure to do this, try to be friendly, smile, laughy, upbeat, and so you can tell he's kind of catering his personality to like extremely playing the algorithm, but it makes him seem very, very disingenuous with his attitude and his personality, which is a big throw-off thing for me. Even if his videos was something that I was looking at, or looking for, searching for, getting suggestion, if I were to see it, I'd be like, this guy is like, I don't want to say a nobody, cool guy, but effectively in the world of social media and stuff, it's like, cool, this guy's a nobody, and he's pretending that he is the biggest somebody. Which, again, I'm not taking that away from fantastic stunt guy. He won the Mr. Beast thing, like, super strong dude. But I've never really seen any channels take off from somebody who doesn't already have a very, very social media big presence. He's got a handful of followers on Instagram and stuff, but not many have crossed over to YouTube. I think he's still like 100 subs, something like that. Which, again, I'm not judging. I'm only at 1,000. And most of those people are like homies that want to watch him just like to hope that he succeeds with it. Kind of like me, like I follow, like, I'm not a fan of the videos at the moment because I've kind of voiced my grievance already. But I want to see him do good and find himself. But he's already pretending or putting forward that mentality of like that almost cringy YouTuber sort of feel, which for me, huge turnoff. And some of his videos, it's like, okay, cool, like they're going to, let's just say a drift event was one of them recently, or I know it's something that he's done or posted about before. And it was just kind of like a video at the drift event, but it was like, okay, cool, like that's the whole video, you're just at this drift event. There was no story, there was no build-up, there were no acts to it. There was nothing that made you feel interested while you were watching it. Other than like, oh cool, look at the car sliding around, that's pretty sick. And that's a huge turnoff for me. I want to see real, and I think that the people that are going to watch his stuff are going to want to see real as well. Twice weekly 747s in Birmingham. Huntsville's kind of bigger than Birmingham, though. Okay, interesting. Or the one recently that really threw me off, it was riding side by side and shooting at his friend's property somewhere. It was like the first leg of the side by side thing, it was like all like sped up, and then he got there and they left. The other guy couldn't buckle up to get back in, and then it kind of like sped up as they were going back. And I was like, you could have really focused on this and like put a goal or something so that way people are invested in watching what you're doing because of these goals or because of, you know, whatever. And it's just something that he hasn't put that effort or thought into. And whoever is editing his videos isn't telling him. They're just saying like, okay, cool, we edit together, we get $50 a video, whatever the price is, and he gives us that, we give him a video, bada bing, bada boom, change of hands. And while posting and being consistent is important, because I've definitely seen way more growth on this channel as I'm consistent, which is kind of why I'm flying tonight, just because I want to do more stuff. I've been flying basically every day, I just haven't been posting or streaming. I don't think we have enough room to get there with the blade because those blades are so close to the generator. Oh well, we'll just go around. But yeah, like I would have loved to see him like start the story at the beginning of the day. Dude, we're going to this guy's place, and he's got room to ride, he's got room to shoot, he's got room to do all of this. So I'm going to set myself up for a challenge. I want to find a loop or find a hill climb stretch or whatever where it's like a 1-minute course on this, and we figure out what a good time would be. And like I really want to fight to try to run this time in the side-by-side. And then when the gun stuff, like I really want to do this, and like these are my goals, this is what I'm going to do. And if you build it up as you're getting there, and you show the struggle of doing this, because you're not going to give yourself an easy goal, give yourself something that's actually going to be harder to attain, and show the struggle, show it real speed. And you've got friends that are all in the film industry, like invite us out and we can make you look like a damn hero filming and setting up different shots, even if it's just a little thing. And it looks so much better. And then at the end of it, you have this story and you have this path and you have this resolution to everything that happened. It's not just hey, we're at my friend's place, because it fast forward as he was going somewhere, and then some shooting but not showing anything really. And like I feel like there's so much more potential for it, but he's trying too hard to copy the blueprint of what Mr. Beast does, especially in early November. I feel like my channel will see more growth. Oh yeah. And I don't want to say like, cool, if you post more, you're going to get more growth. But I mean, yeah, the more you post, the more you grow. It's kind of how things work. And you watch your analytics and you see where people are and you see what they click, you see what they comment. You find measurable ways to improve, address what the biggest problems you see with your stuff are, and growth is inevitable. Of course, with your market, with my market, with anybody's market, there's a finite limit. Just because of the style of what we do and what we create. If you're just posting airplane videos and helicopter videos and aviation stuff, you're only going to get aviation people interested. And maybe that's 1% of the population. And even if that 1% of the population likes aviation, then maybe only 1% of that 1% likes plane spotting. So there is a cap to whatever you do is. But that's something that you understand. You're not stupid, you're very smart. So you know that. It's like, I don't know of any plane spotting accounts or heli spotting accounts that are up in the millions and millions and millions of dollars. Car spotting has done that because people can very celebrity relate to car spotting. Like, oh man, that's whoever's Lamborghini, that's crazy, we can buy a Lamborghini. Like, aviation doesn't have that sort of flair. there's an upper level to aviation plane spotting, I'm sure, but I think a lot of it's like piloting and stuff too, so that's something that you can grow into with your channel eventually. Probably like Steve Okanivo or something like that would probably be like one of the bigger aviation influencers. Mike Patey, aviation person below the power lines. Mike Patey, big aviation thing, but he does a lot of like engineering and building and stuff like that as well. So there's different ways for things to be. Yeah, it's just, I don't want to say it bugs me because I'm not a personal friend with him, but I really, really would like to get my friend who's close to him and be like, hey, let Matt create and concept one video for you. Never mind, wrong channel name. I didn't see what you posted. Oh well. Well, I can see what you posted. I have the power. I think. No. Oh well. But it's like, yeah, I would love to like do one of his videos for him. Not that I want a job as his editor-in-chief or whatever. Like, sure, maybe if he wants to pay me, then that's nice. It's just a bonus for me throwing my 2 cents in and partially putting my heart and soul into stuff like that, because even though I don't want to be a YouTuber, I really do enjoy creating, and I think creating videos is a very strong outlet for that. But I think his channel has so much potential, but I think he's marketing it all wrong, and part of that's because, I mean, he went and met and was on a first name basis with the largest YouTube and largest social media content person in the world. So of course he's going to look at that and see that and want to build something using that same sort of pathway, that same recipe. I don't blame him. But also, when you look back to Mr. Beast's first videos, guess what? It was him counting to 1 million, or counting to 100,000, or a whole bunch of stupid stuff like that. And it was never, in the early days until it gained traction, like it was never a, cool, look at me, I'm doing this. It was just like whatever he was doing, it was him making videos. Then once he got to a point to where people were like, oh cool, that's Jimmy, that's Mr. Beast, then his personality started looking different because he was being recognized that he didn't start that way. And I don't know of anybody who's started that way. Is that a helipad there? I don't know of anybody who started that way. It is. And just went straight to it, you know? Like, give me a name or something? Nope. I said most people do their own thing, and as soon as they start becoming to a point where they are recognized and people are addressing them as that, then they start building on that personality. But I mean, even like one of the guys that we talk about a good bit on here, Garrett from the Cletus McFarlane YouTube channel, like, yeah, his Cletus McFarlane character kind of started at the beginning as that, because that's what people loved. That's because he did something silly and goofy, and like that's what got his recognition. Kind of like Larry the Cable Guy with his whole thing, like, oh, get her done. Like that's, I don't want to say that's what made him popular, but that was a big thing that brought his popularity up. But Garrett's thing was like, cool, he kind of had this redneck character. People loved it, and he just kind of kept doing that, but he still didn't take himself seriously. And he grew to a point where he was making and creating and doing things that were, like, he started just doing things. It wasn't like, look at me, I'm the Cletus McFarlane guy. It was him having fun, him being himself, him not trying to put on that show. And that's what made it special, and that's why millions of people follow him, and that's why he has his own helicopter. That's why he has his own Pilatus PC-12. And it's just something people want to jump straight to whatever the finish is. They don't want to do the hard work of just being yourself. It's one of the videos that I'm scripting out right now. It's lessons that I've learned in my first 1,000 subscribers. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not a channel that I want to be. I don't want to be a channel that helps people, give them ideas for new videos and stuff. There's plenty of people that do that. I don't need to make a channel about YouTube channels, you know. But with that said, like, I think everybody who's made it past the first hardest bit has a lot to share and a lot to learn. Some are genuine, some are not. This is a car shipping ship. What do these things have collision? I don't think they do. So I'm gonna fly down this. Let's see if I can talk to folks. Whoa, did it have collision? Oh, it does. I know before these boats haven't had collision. Oh, I try to sit down over here. Whoa! What about boats that are moving? Just bumped into something there that wasn't. This tanker's moving. I'm gonna hit this other boat. Stop! You're gonna hit this other boat! You're hoist only, though. Yep, I'm hitting stuff. There's pterodactyl. Yeah, landing gear malfunction. So I'm hitting stuff. Don't know what I'm hitting, though. But I'm hitting stuff. But yeah, anyways, be yourself. Like, part one, like I said, one of the videos I'm writing right now is lessons I learned and things I wish I knew and whatever. And I think it'll be a very cool video for people to watch. If it brings more people to my channel, it brings more people to my channel. I don't care. It's just something I want to talk about because it's something that I'm pretty passionate about, just because I like people doing what they love. I like people doing what they enjoy. You're good. Just dealt with a low rotor thing there without even freaking out, so that was cool. My landing gear seems fine. I can skid. Car would have shit themselves. I can't find the channel that I'm thinking of, but he buys used planes and cars and refurbishes. Jimmy's World. There's Restoration Rebuild or Rebuild Rescue. There's also JR Aviation, but JR Aviation started as a car influencer, and JR Garage is his thing, and he's still a car influencer. He just does airplanes also, and then posts like once a month or once every 2 months on that. So I don't consider him an aviation influencer. He's just a car influencer that happened to pull a lot of people from one way or the other. But there's Rebuild Rescue, who they had somebody from their team die when a plane that they worked on crashed. It was a twin engine plane, but apparently it's one where it's like it doesn't really have enough power to single engine, and he lost an engine on takeoff while pretty heavy and ended up stuffing it. Yeah, JR Aviation's cool. Like I said, he's a car guy. He is a car channel guy that, like I said, there's JR Garage, and he got popular, which I don't want to say he always had money. I don't know where his first money came from. There's a good chance that his family just has money, so he was able to get a nicer car when he was younger. But there are some people who have done ventures that have ended up paying very well. Which really, like, one of the first people who I was a fan of on YouTube, and this was back 2008, 2009, 2010, sometime back then. Anyways, it was a guy named Robert Himmler, Himler. And like one of his popular videos, the first one that like went mildly viral, was like giving his mom a ride in a Lamborghini Huracan, or scaring his mom in a Lamborghini. And I don't even know if it was twin turbo at the time, but eventually it was like scaring my mom in a twin turbo Lamborghini. And his videos before that, we can look all the way down it. His videos before that were like Mitsubishi Evo, stuff like that. So still fast cars, but cheaper cars. And the way he got his money was back when, this is still infancy of internet. He made a website that, what was it? So you could set Google as your homepage, but then you open up your internet and it's just like a white screen. So he made a website where it still made Google your homepage, or made a Google search your homepage, but then you could also have it set as like a cool background or something or whatever, and just like a little bit of ads and stuff he made off that. He made decent money, and he had a few websites that kind of did that. So he made a good bit of internet money back in 2010-ish. Twin turbo Lamborghini Huracan, had Murcielago, started dating an extremely attractive Australian girl named Amy Sangster, who got her money doing Forex trading, so currency trading. And then she wrote a book and did a course and stuff. But anyways, Robert ended up dying of cancer back in 2012, 2013. So him and Amy were in a relationship that they never got married, I don't think. Yeah, he died of cancer. And I forget where I was going. Car Channel, maybe. Oh yeah, tied into JR. So I don't know if JR Garage was able to make their money doing .com sort of things beforehand. Whether they had internet incomes from one way or the other, I don't know. That's not something I'm privy to. I don't know what their entire history is, but I do want to say like one of their first videos that got big on YouTube was like driving a Dodge Viper to high school. I don't remember if it was theirs. I don't know. I just know that was like one of their first big videos. And of course, that's something every single car guy under the age of 25 is going to watch, because it's going to be like, oh man, how sick would it have been if I had driven a Viper to my high school? Or somebody younger going like, oh man, I want to drive a Viper to high school. So they got good views, and that was kind of their big come up in the YouTube world, and it built off of that. And I don't know if their income then started going from there and they can get more cars, or if that was a borrowed car. I don't know. But anyways, JR Garage is their primary source of videos and income. And I'm sure they've done other stuff as well. He seems very financially literate. Seems like he makes friends with the right people. So I'm just going to assume that he could probably stop YouTube anytime he wants to and still be financially okay. But YouTube's just a good way to make side income, get the sponsor money, justify things, do things for taxes. Because he probably couldn't buy all that stuff. Even if he had the money, he couldn't justify it for business purposes if he was just doing it for himself. But as a YouTuber, you can do it as business purposes, not pay certain taxes on it, write different things off in different creative ways to play with legal loopholes, and it becomes a very nice thing. We are sitting on the ground, but the ground happens to be high above. I mean, look how good I am at hovering. But yeah, JR Aviation, cool guys. And everything that I've heard of them has been pretty solid. I think I know 2 people who've met them and dealt with them in the past, and they seem super cool guys. So either way, that's also kind of one of the things that I've always wanted to do. Don't have the knowledge or I'm sure I have the ideas, but I don't know what my knowledge looks like on some of that stuff. It's like, man, I feel like there are some websites and sort of technologically based software, and not even software is more deep programming, but technology based sort of things, whether it be something like a website or some sort of application that's web based or mobile based. Mobile based is probably the way to go in today's world. And I feel like there's some things that I can figure out that would work and would make money, just like the to-do list thing that I've been doing. I've got a different way of doing it than like what I've seen most people do, and it's like, man, I would really love to make that some sort of app that you can use on Android or Apple, then it also links to a computer, and it's just a very integrated task management sort of situation. But I don't know how to create that, which is the thing. AI exists. I preferred not relying on everything I do to be AI, believe it or not. Where have I got to land here? Nope. You just go through the tower. That's dumb. It's a long way down. I don't think I've zeroed out my Come on, Governor. What I want to do, I want to zero out my my altimeter so I can know how high that is. Playing with a rotor RPM there. Throwing myself into like a super auto there. Okay, so this will be sea level here, so we'll set down real quick and see what sea level. What? Don't give me that shit. Don't give me that shit. Chill. What are you doing? I was in a good spot here. Unless I can't land here for whatever reason. Nope. There's a pterodactyl somewhere right there. Okay, so altitude is zeroed out there. Cool. Let's go straight up and avoid any sort of pterodactyl. Max performance. Pulling, watching your turbine temperatures. Trying to stay in continuous torque instead of takeoff torque. But yeah, so like there's a lot of cool ideas that are out there that people don't realize can make a little bit of money, and it's like, if you make and design an app or a website thing or whatever, and let's just say there's 1,000 users every day, and it could be the same people going back over and over and over again. Man, if you make $10 a day from 1,000 people, which is very realistic to think about, you know, and that's a 1% of people providing you some sort of income being $1. So if you can do that from whatever, be it through ad stuff or direct purchasing or whatever, that's $300 a month. And that's just with 1,000 users. If you can get your way up to getting 100,000 people using it, you know, that's 100 times that, then you're making $30,000 a month, which is a fantastic amount of money. That's 1% sort of money, and people may be like, well, no, 1%, you think of millionaires and billionaires. Well, $30,000 a month will put you in millionaire type territory, yes. But I mean, in 12 months, I mean, it's $360,000. It's pretty damn good money. That's, I don't want to say that's all you ever need, but that's what a lot of people, what most people can live fine with. Maybe if you're living like downtown San Francisco in a crazy apartment, super high rent area, yeah, that's not going to be enough single income. But that's because you're stupid living in San Francisco. Aviation photography and VR is expensive to start, but once you paid for the good equipment, it can make good money. Yeah, that's for sure. That's something where once I'm commercially licensed, which I mean, honestly, even as I'm privately licensed, it's something I'm probably going to offer to friends, and not for money. FAA, I know you're watching. I would love to fly my friends who do photography and stuff around and let them take pictures and let them take videos. And, you know, even if I'm paying for the flight myself, where it's like me giving friends rides around anyways, then so be it. But I think even if they're doing it for a business sort of thing, I can still accept half payment, where if it's like let's say we're renting a 44, you're going to sit in the back with a nice camera and a gimbal or something. I think I can still ask for half if you want to ride back there and do stuff, because that's just reimbursement of helicopter usage, because I'm not making money from the actual business of you doing business, if that makes sense. But that's also, I think, very gray area, so I wouldn't want to push that. What is that? Oh no, that's a turret. I don't know what that is there. Like a big sundial or something? Yes, and that definitely looks like a sundial of some sort. This right here is definitely like an old World War II turret. Guaranteed. I'm gonna say it looked like a base jumping diving board or something, but it's on the cliff and has the battery attached to it. And I knew there was a fort up here anyways. I just wasn't sure what the arrangement of everything was. But yeah, like I was telling Epic Aviation 47, since he lives pretty close to me, I was like, dude, once I'm good in the 44, if I'm going out for a flight for the day or whatever, I'm gonna go put like 2 hours in or some shit. It's like, if you're not doing anything, come fucking ride along. You know, you're like, yeah, you can take pictures and videos out, and I'm just giving you a free ride. And I don't think there's any bad FAA juju if you do that. If I'm giving my friend a free ride, I am making absolutely nothing off of it. He doesn't even mention my name in the videos. It's like, oh, multi-shot Matt's giving me a ride around. I think if it's that way, and like it's literally just me giving a homie a ride around because I was going to be riding in the helicopter alone anyways, I think I can do that. But I told him, I was like, dude, if we can do that and we're flying around Atlanta and there's another 44 or like the 206 or something, and if we call over to him like, hey, November 46 Charlie Kilo, which I think's the Channel 46 Bell 206, like, hey, we're 2 miles behind you. If you don't mind, we can catch up. We can get some cool pictures and videos of you flying. We can send it to you. Got a photographer on board. I think most of them, as long as they're not like on scene for something, or they're like, actually, we're going over here to orbit some, but if you want to come set up a wider orbit on us, then we'd be cool with that. Like, as long as you're doing shit, like, I don't think there's a fucking problem. And I think there's a handful of people that would not mind us getting pictures and videos and stuff like that. And like I've always said, if I was doing a flight from like McDonough or Hampton down to Columbus for like one of the cross countries or something, and there were to be a Black Hawk going from one to the other, I would sure as shit say on frequency that I would assume that they would be on, because they'll usually monitor local airports as they're going through, just like I would. And like, hey, Black Hawk flight, there's a little R-22 or R-44 a few miles up ahead of you. If you want to catch up and fly off my left side, We can take some good pictures and videos of you if that's something that y'all are interested in. I'll fucking ask him. I think that'd be cool. And I think most of them will be like, oh, dude, sick, where can we see it? I'd be like, yeah, the good dude filming, he's Epic Aviation 47 on YouTube, watch it. And like I said, I'm not asking for money or whatever, it's just like, I want to give homies rides. Then once I am commercial, or once we do clear it up, if he wants to say like, cool, thanks Multi-Shot Matt for giving me a ride, then that's on him, you know? There are photographers that there are companies that let photographers on planes to fly in formation for photos. Oh yeah. I mean, like the big helicopter one is Lloyd Photography, LLOYD. And as far as spotters, he's probably one of the bigger spotters out there. Because like JR Aviation stuff, they're not spotters. Steve O'Connell is not a spotter. Lloyd Photography though, he is, I would assume, what started as a spotter and professional photographer turned into basically a full-time professional photographer for helicopters. Because he does photo shoots for Vertical Magazine and stuff with, I mean, different air forces and coast guards and police departments and like MD, Airbus helicopters, Bell, like he shoots for everybody. But I'm also sure he's riding with like the other pilots from those places. Like when he's photographing the Coast Guard doing stuff, he's probably riding in a Coast Guard helicopter. We're gonna set up for a 0 airspeed auto. What's my target going to be? That's the question. Actually, what I want to do, I'm going to get here over the numbers. I want to land on the numbers. So right now we're at 1,500 feet. We're going to get up to 15. Gives us plenty of time. Actually, I don't know if we're going to get any more altitude. We're right at turbine outlet temperatures. A couple more. No airspeed really kills your lift. There's 1,500, governor off, going down, right pedal. At 40 knots airspeed, I can go down on the collective a little bit. A little short, but not bad. Give it back to me. We can do better. You good? Figuring your shit out? That looks wrong. I can probably get to Dobbins in Atlanta. Sometimes they're doing F-15s, 38s, and 22s there. I guess I just don't watch military traffic that much, so I don't really see the... Every once in a while I'll see like a C-130 or something running out of Dobbins. Like I said, it's just not something I'm really watching for, so I don't really notice what's going on with them. I'm gonna get back up to 1,500, do that again. I used to live down near Moody. Well, not near. I mean, I was in Valdosta, so I was as near to Moody as just like, cool, I'm living in Atlanta, so I must be near Dobbins. But or they always had a lot of stuff flying there. I was never really watching for it, but okay, we're at 1,000 feet, working our way up. I can add a little bit more power. There we go, good wind right there, giving us some lift. I'm working up to 0 airspeed. Over the numbers. Yeah, jets aren't trackable. So, I mean, hell, they might be doing it. I just don't know. Okay, same thing. We're at 1,500 feet. 0 airspeed. Over the numbers. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put us on the numbers. Not quite, but we're going to make it on the beach. I did a really, really steep turn. Oh, those rocks had a little bit of elevation to them that was not visible. We would have been hurt on that one, boys. Okay, anyways. One of those was sticking up, that's for sure. There's a channel called Matt Cochran. He films ATL and Dobbins traffic. I'll have to look him up. Let's see, is there anything else I want to do? It is 11:15. We started at 8, so it's like been a 3.5 hour stream. Not bad. What's going on live? Any friends of flying? That was fun. We did a scud running up here to rescue Jake. That was fun. So yeah, it looks like 11:15 we'll have sunlight all the way out here, because we're just trying to get from like here, because that's Kathmandu right there, I think. Yeah. What's he doing? What aircraft are you in? I know you're up here at Everest, idiot. Crosscart. Oh. So he has one of the vehicles that you can drive. So yeah, we're going to be working back towards Kathmandu next time. So here to here, Kathmandu. And we may just big jump. Let's see what range looks like. Let's judge our range on what a 225 does, because then I can kind of know like how much fuel that does, and speed and time, and fuel, payload, all the way up. Oh yeah, we're good. I'm trying to get up here somewhere. So yeah, it'll be a 4-hour stream for the next round the world thing, I believe. Hoping tomorrow be an earlier start. So we'll do probably leaving here all the way to Kathmandu, and probably maybe over here will be darkish. Then we'll start getting good sunlight probably around here. And we'll work all the way up here, and I'll look for a town or something. I had one picked at one point, but I'd have to look it up again. Actually, I think this is border right here. So I think we're looking at Lahore. Yeah, this definitely sounds more not Indian. Yeah, so I think that's going to be our thing. And of course, we'll be diverting through Kathmandu and stopping somewhere here to fuel up, then doing the jump. F-35A. Ooh, interesting. Cool. Anyways, everybody who is here, thank you for watching. Georgia Plane Spotting, Sean, Belen, Mr. Epic Aviation, and people who haven't commented but you're still here. Much appreciated. I'm going to call it a night. I got to shower and do my things. And do some sleep as well. So, yeah, thanks everybody for being here. Feel free to ask any questions or whatever. Join the Discord. Follow me, subscribe, click the like button, whatever. Anyways, talk to you guys later. See ya. Okay, also you said 100 times better than the A10 in my opinion. Also allow photographers to take photographs as long as they're not too close to the fence. Interesting. Good for Moody. Okay, but now, guys, thanks for watching. See y'all later.